what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Put a thumbs up in the chat. Make sure everything's okay. Um, Here we are at another week, yet again, with some more politics and stuff to talk about. This should be fun. In fact, this is going to be fun because I did learn a lot. Some people I thought were dead and gone are alive and well and actually got paroled. Um, so we're going to get into that and some other things. A quick rundown. We're going to be talking about voting rights and the attack that has begun in Texas that unfortunately the Democrats could not stop in the state house because, of course, we only vote for big stuff and we forget about our local elected officials. And the Republicans in Texas, of course, had that sewn down. Um, so we'll be talking about that. We will also be talking about, I know you didn't know or think that the person who assassinated John F. Kennedy, you hear me? Robert Kennedy Jr., Robert Kennedy rather, sorry, um, but still alive, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I did not know that until I happened to come across the article. Thanks, Brother Nate. But we'll be talking about his parole. We will also be talking about Blue Lives Matter. And does Blue Lives only matter when they're white? We'll get into that and some other things. But of course, first, I would like to welcome you all for joining us. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Tiffany Black, Patty Duke, always a pleasure. Gold is good. Great to see you. Welcome, everyone. And without further ado, Brother Nate, are you ready? Because I'm going to need you to be the other half of this part for me today.
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, you might have to keep me on track a little bit for this one because I just.
But wait a minute. What's that in the background?
Oh, this little green screen little thingy-majiggy. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger than what it was. I mean, that's what you get when you buy stuff from Wish. But I mean, it works for it works for a little bit of bit of shindig.
Okay. I was going to say, are we getting fancy?
Not doing too much, I'm trying to do it on my own personal budget. So, we work with what we got.
Okay.
And that's all right, to each his own. I'm not, I ain't knocking it. So, yeah, let's just get right into this Texas mess. So Texas, despite all the efforts of the Democratic lawmakers of Texas, running out of the country, running out of the state like they was running out of the country across the border, so they would not have to participate in the dismantling.
Maybe they should have ran to Mexico.
Yeah, right. They went the wrong place. In the dismantling of the Voting Rights Act, mainly because they lost, one, and two, because they realized that in a year or two, midterms, Texas wouldn't look the same. Because they noticed that a lot of people were turning out and the races were tight. The local races were tight. We're not talking about the presidential races. They had that sewn up. But the local races and the Senate races were too tight. They know good and well that by the time midterms came around, if the momentum was still the same, they would not be in power too much longer. So they solidified a way to make sure they maintain it and also maintain it that it's white. So much so that many of the lawmakers were saying, calling the bill racist, and they put a motion on the floor to not call it racist or racism because they did not feel that it was appropriate. And again, always with the, I don't want to be guilty or feel guilty for my actions, as our famous mayonnaise colleagues like to say, but they don't mind doing them, but they just don't want to be called that word in which they do, which affects other people, not themselves. So anyway, what these restrictions do as far as Texas is concerned. Now, remember, all of this is just like, we'll see how this plays out here. And then pretty soon it's going to be sweeping across the nation to many other states. So please don't think that your state is immune from these types of gouging of voting rights acts, because you're not. All right. So far, what this, what these lawmakers have nicely decided to do, restricting voting, limiting early voting. There used to be a thing called Sunday voting where a lot of the churches would get together and bus people out to the voting polls. They're cutting that out. They're limiting the drive-through voting. A lot of the drive-through voting was a way to increase voter turnout for people who necessarily could not vote during regular voting hours because of their jobs. And a lot of jobs were personally making sure that certain employees had to be at work around a certain time and could not take off. So everybody was working like hand over hand to make sure and to ensure that certain people did not get elected by any means necessary. Funny. And many of these other kind of things that the Lone Star State has decided that this is the... Who didn't feel what was appropriate? I don't know. Whatever I was saying, I don't remember what I was saying, but I'm sure you'll remind me. So please do. But yeah, I just thought that was a bit much. Targeting many areas like Harris County. Harris County was one of the counties in Texas that implemented a lot of these early voting, late voting, after hours voting to push people to come out and vote, that there was always time to vote. And a lot of these counties and areas happen to have a large population of Black and brown people. So when they say, oh, it's not racist, the areas where you're taking away the voting booths to where they're close and in the community where people can vote, now they got to either drive or find a way across town to go vote, which would definitely deter many people, not only Black and brown people, but he's also attacking people with disabilities. And funny enough, the governor himself being a hot wheeler, I really don't understand how he can actually do that. But I mean, I guess to each his own. If it doesn't really fit you, you wouldn't feel a part of it anyway. So I get that. Your thoughts on that?
It's just a damn mess.
It is.
It's just a damn mess. Yeah. And it's I mean, God damn, what can you say?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I wish that the Democrats would just had bigger balls, just straight up. Yeah. And from what I understand, some of them actually went back early. Mm-hmm. And kind of helped them out a bit. The Republicans are going to do what what they've set out to do. Right. They don't care who they step on.
Right. But why we sit here and want to care you
want to care and play by the rules. That's the whole, and that's the problem, because we don't take advantage of the fact that we have control, and what we need to do is just jam it down their throats, like they're definitely going to do once they take control.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, calling the bill racist. The Republicans thought it was inappropriate to call the bill racist.
But it is what it is.
But it is right.
Mm-hmm. Right. It is what it is. I don't care if we hurt your feelings.
Right. And I think that's the place where we have to be. It's not a thing of, oh, I'm sorry, did that hurt you? Did that offend you? No, it is what it is. Like, it's going to offend some people, but the reality is that it's happening. You wasn't thinking about this when Trump was running. There was no.
Oh no, everything was fine. Everything was fine. Everything was fine when Trump was running, and then miraculously, to your surprise, Trump loses this turnaround because you didn't put two and two together that no one really voted
the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The turnout was not that great. And it just wasn't, because people were just like, really, they didn't really mess with Hillary, all like that. And they sure as hell didn't mess with Donald Trump. So they sat it out, period.
Yeah.
That's all that happened. Now, don't get mad because the man who had the ball dropped the ball. I mean, like he had balls anyway, but he dropped the few he did have due to this COVID mess that we're in right now. It was no different from Ebola, no different from any of the other swine flu, bird flu, Popeye's chicken sandwiches. It was the same.
Yeah, it was during that time, wasn't it?
Same around for everybody else. You dropped the ball, which caused you to lose an election. So now all of a sudden, everybody must safeguard your feelings and literally destroy voting for people who are not white and affluent from voting. Pretty much is what it is. And I just think it's ridiculous. Like, it really just should wake up a lot of people that voting locally and voting for your local state officials damn sure is important if you're trying to do anything in your communities. If you're just trying to live your life, don't get caught up in the glitz and glamour of voting for a president, because these local officials are the people that literally have you by the balls. I mean, it's ridiculous how, you can claim voter fraud, but only you lost. Everyone else, down ticket, won. Every Republican in every other state that won, even some Democratic strongholds, they lost seats, but they won the presidency. He lost plainly for his lack of attention to what was going on. Just caring about, if he thought he said this, he said that. He had the TV all hyped up, had the media all up his ass, whatever channel it was. Anytime he said anything, they were just glued to it, like, oh, Trump's speaking. Why are we wasting this time? But you give him that much energy, and then now, okay, we have nothing. So now we're stuck looking like, but they're going to sit here and make their own rules and destroy what they need to destroy. So I am, like I've always said, vote. I don't give a goddamn who you vote for. I just wish that you vote. And my preference would be vote locally, because your local officials are the people who really make your state move.
Yeah.
That president and your senators, yeah. Yeah,
because it can buffer you from a lot of the things that are going on in the country.
Right.
That's why you have certain areas that are kind of like safe havens.
Right.
And that's because of your local officials.
Right. Even with stuff going on, you see, like with the storm, and, prayers go out to the people who, has been involved in this storm. They're quick to ask for aid, but then quick to, on the other hand, badmouth or talk about anything that has to do with making sure they make, the person who's sitting in Mar-a-Lago feel good about himself. But you'll quickly turn the other hand. Oh, can I get some aid? And by the way, he's not a legitimate president. Donald Trump won. Get the hell out of here. It's ridiculous. Texas, I don't know what to say about Texas. It's a lovely state.
Look, it's either Texas or Florida. It's like, I don't know which asshole to scratch first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're acting worse than the Trump kids. I mean, it's almost like the governors of these states are acting like Trump kids, abiding for his attention and for his approval. And it's like, for what? He has lost. So at this point, anything can happen, and somebody else could become the star of this fractured, kind of mutilated party.
They're hoping just in case he gets back in.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't? Like,
he'll still have their, he can give his blessing.
Who is he gonna give his blessing to? Trump Jr.? Eric? Get the hell out.
He still has an influence. So.
Oh, Whatever. Anyway, so I know you guys did not know, moving right along, that the person who assassinated Robert Kennedy, who was actually the a lawyer in New York, attorney general for New York, well, senator for New York first, and of course the brother of President Kennedy, that the person who assassinated him was alive and well. I really
I did. I thought he died a long
thought
time
he
ago.
died a long time ago.
They locked him. I figured they locked him down in solitary confinement, and you never saw him again, and that was it.
I thought he was dead with the others. I really did. I really thought that they had ended him shortly after he did the job that they brainwashed him or whatever to do, and it was like, okay, we got to kill you so you don't tell no secrets. So surprisingly enough, Sirhan was his name. He is now 77 years old, and he went up for parole. This was the 16th time he had been up for parole since he's been in jail, charged with the murder or assassination of Robert Kennedy. When Robert Kennedy was a Democratic candidate for president back in 1969, 68. Yeah, killed him in the California, like the kitchen. I guess they was using the back way because the ballroom or the place where he was supposed to give the speech was so crowded that they did not want him to go in that way at all. So he went through the service entrance, and he was leaving that way and was assassinated. The youngest son of Robert Kennedy, 68, thank you. The youngest son of Robert Kennedy, who was a toddler when his father was assassinated, attended this hearing, and he said he was in tears and that he felt that he was no longer that Sirhan was no longer a threat to society, and that he should remain free. However, it's also to note that many other members, of the Kennedy family was like, hell no, he needs to stay in there. And something that made me go, a little bit, like something's up here. The prosecution that, because a parole hearing is like a trial, it's a mini trial. The prosecution declined to do anything. Like they just let it go. Whatever it was going to be, they let it be. They did not fight against his parole or anything. So I'm just like, what?
That's because there's a job waiting for him
right.
at Walmart.
Right. Now it was said that a few senators, some former attorney generals, some presidential hopefuls' sons, and I said, I wonder who those sons could be.
Are. Mm-hmm.
Right. Basically had things of praise and of encouragement and pushing forward to hopefully get him released, was sent to the board, and they took that into consideration. The actual parole granting is still up for investigation. They still have a period of where they can still hear other information from other sources to determine whether or not it will be completely granted. The lead person on the board for the parole hearing said that he wants to listen to both sides of the argument and not just base it on the one side, mainly the people who are promoting for his release. So we'll see how that goes. But damn sure I thought that man was dead.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I was like. He really is still alive? Wow.
You mean you mean Trump didn't give him a pardon?
Right.
Yeah, that was definitely a blast from the past. Because I really had to think, I was like, who the fuck is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
was
right.
like,
He's
I'm
still
looking like he
alive.
looks familiar. He looks familiar. I was like, wait, is that the 25-year-old man? I was like, wow.
Mhm.
Funny enough, the reason why he claimed to have, well, because he explained this during his parole hearing this time, but the reason why he killed John F. Kennedy, well, John, why I keep saying John, Robert Kennedy, excuse me,
Robert. Mhm.
was because he did not like his stance on, was it Afghanistan or the Middle East?
I think it was like the Middle East.
Yeah, he didn't like his stance on the Middle East. I really need someone on this to be sure. 'Cause I was like, oh, really? Are we going through this right now? So is he just releasing him so he can kill the
Yeah, I
president?
was getting ready to say. And it's still the same shit going on.
Right. Where I thought I wrote it somewhere. But yeah, like he didn't like what was going on. He didn't like what was going on in the Middle East, so he uh, killed him. And I'm like, well, damn, you didn't like somebody's policies, so you
Yeah, well,
murdered the man.
some people that's
Right,
everything.
but this is the kind of stuff that's happening today, and people are getting slaps on the wrist, and
oh yeah,
it's like, well, it wasn't that bad. And the only reason why I even bring that up, because I'll just shoot to this part and then I'll go back to the other story, but because it kind of comes in together with the blue lives, with blue lives mattering, and blue lives seem to only matter when there are white lives involved, because blue lives, that whole bullshit that they talk about, blue lives matter, does not matter when the blue life happens to be black. I want to say bleed black, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so the officer, Lieutenant Michael Byrd, has finally spoke out since the January 6th insurrection, when the spoiled group of mayonnaise went down to DC from all over these United States, mainly in the middle of the country, went down to the U.S. Capitol to support their president, and then followed his orders and their own, marched down to the Capitol, and began to literally want the head of every elected official in the building, including their vice president, Mike Pence, because he didn't stand up and fight against something that was clearly already done. The election was over. All this was ceremonial, something that's done every 4 years. Same thing that they did when he won. He wasn't gracious enough to hand it off. However, he allowed all this chaos to, erupt around this Capitol, and he sat back and enjoyed it. So I'm sure many of you saw the video. I was going to pull up a clip for Miss Babbitt, but time escaped me, and it was like, she looked like some long-nosed mayonnaise. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But the officer, Lieutenant Byrd, and a lot of the rest of Congress, even the Speaker of the House, I'm pretty sure the Vice President was there too, because that was the only barricade place that they could really fortify themselves from the mob. They asked Babbitt and others to stand down and stop and do not proceed any further. And like they always do, it's not a thing about compliance when it comes to them, but it is also funny how when it is us, it is always the same story of, oh, why didn't you just comply? Why didn't you
all right. You're dragging this out. They popped the cap in the ass, and how many people were surprised it was a brother? Me.
No, you didn't see him?
No, not when I
first
did it. No, I didn't. I didn't think he was black.
Yeah, he was black.
No, all that shit that was going on. When he came, and I was like, oh wow, and he looked like Martin.
No comment.
Like Martin, he sure did. I was like, oh shit, I had to drink. Well, anyway,
Yeah,
but
so
he popped a cap in her ass, and yes, she
right.
definitely deserved it.
And so he's been having since then. He's been having death threats and all types
Yeah.
of stuff going on. So he definitely. Donald Trump has called him a murderer. Surprise, surprise. He's a murderer all of a sudden. And people have literally wanted him to be decapitated. So I'm just trying to figure out where's all the support for the blue lives. Because when they shooting up black bodies in the street like nobody's business, we quick to talk about Blue Lives Matter. But because Ashley Babbitt got a 2-piece to the dome,
oh yeah,
she caught
that shit. She caught that shit hard.
Hard as hell. She flew back. Even the guy holding a whole semi-automatic rifle behind her jumped back and was like, "Oh shit, they serious.
They serious.
What you thought they was gonna do? What you thought they was gonna do? Let you just take them?" I just really didn't understand that. But yeah, he's been having a lot of death threats and so on and so forth. So my just question was to you and to the chat. I'm still trying to figure out where's the outrage, where's the support for this blue life that just happens to be black. I'll wait.
You hear that? It's crickets.
Right. Not a damn thing.
That's okay. Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. And they always do. I don't know. I mean, I'm not surprised former President Trump called him
no, because he's feeding the monster. See?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's always done that. He's done that with the Central Park Five. So that's not a surprise to me. But my whole thing is, even with them, I don't understand them. They always talking, Blue Lives Matter. What about the blue lives?
Look, they live in a totally different reality. It is like a whole different universe.
Yeah,
and we do live in 2 United States. Actually, it's probably several, because each group has its own issues.
Yeah, that is true. It's like that. What was that? It was a show. Was it Bad Blood or Bleed? Something. It was a television show, but everybody had like their own little areas or whatever. I forgot the name of it, but it was a good show. But yeah, that was a whole nother, like, the hell is going on here?
Yeah, but like I said, I was surprised. He was black. I was like, all right. I was like, yeah. Made me feel good. Made me feel warm all over.
So you didn't feel those type of way? You didn't feel like there was no kind of police brutality?
Oh no.
The police, because
he didn't stun her 16 times and beat her with a baton.
No.
He was probably singing that song, I shot the Karen. But it was in self-defense.
You know what? But yeah, he's talking the same language that they normally talk when they shoot an unarmed black person. He said he didn't realize she was unarmed until later.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
I know it's not.
Her ass, and she was climbing through. Now she used that Karen privilege, and she was climbing through that window.
I understand, but at the same time, he said he didn't know if she was armed or not.
That's right.
He was afraid for his safety.
I was terrified. I saw that blonde hair.
And the safety of others. It was actually brunette.
That's right.
And the safety of others.
They all white. Anyway, I saw this wave of whiteness with the few speckles of whatever.
That is true.
And they were coming for me, and I got scared.
And I had nowhere to run.
Where was I going? So and then I looked in front of me and I saw white. And I looked behind me and I saw white. And I knew that it was not going to be a good day.
if the whites from the outside come inside, the whites inside are gonna turn on me. So I'm just gonna
But I didn't shoot the cat.
vote for Captain somebody. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't sound as though that he has too much support.
No. But I want to know if there's going to be. My question is, will there be any criminal charges?
Oh no, they've already exonerated him from all
Oh,
that.
have they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's his hands are clean. Let's give him. We ought to give him a round of applause. Because that brother.
I mean,
I'm sorry to be so horrible, but I'm just feeling that way tonight. Let me drink some water. Yeah, that's right. He was doing his job. He was protecting. He was protecting those people that don't do shit up there, and he was protecting them hard.
That's it. As a Capitol Police officer, he was doing what he was trained to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's to protect the people in the Capitol. However, even if they don't believe in the fact that he was saving their lives and they choose not to give him any kind of help or incentive, I think it's just.
I think he ought to get I think he should receive the Medal of Freedom.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think so too. Yeah, him and a few others.
That and those other officers.
Yeah,
I mean, because you think about it, you have these other officers that are committing suicide. This stuff is real.
Yeah,
okay? Yeah. It's real.
Yeah. And who knows if these officers beforehand were already dealing with some kind of trauma.
Could you imagine 4 years in DC with that shit? These motherfuckers are ridiculous. Okay, they are ridiculous. Yeah, 4 years,
absolutely crazy.
And they probably, I know his trigger finger was itching.
You know what? I'm not going there with you.
Okay.
All right. So
next story.
Moving right along. With the vaccine being weaponized by not only medical officials, now we have the courts utilizing their power to make people take the vaccine. Now, I am not, you do what you want. You do what you feel is right for your family and your loved ones and yourself. That is your choice. That is your right. I do not agree with these judges now demanding people take shots in order to receive some sort of justice. Now, I talk about this one story with this 34-year-old woman. Was she 34? No, 39. 39-year-old woman out of Illinois who was just going to, well, not even going. They were doing a Zoom court for child support. For child support increase, and I guess the father was not really paying his fair share, so she took him back to court to be like, no, he's making this amount of money, and this is what money I should be, receiving for our son. She shares custody with her ex-husband, and when she got on the Zoom court meeting, the first thing that came out the judge's mouth was, "Are you vaccinated?" Mm-hmm. She said, "What does that got to do with anything? Mm-hmm. This has to do everything about child support and me, getting what my son deserves." He said, "It is my court, and I'll do what I want."
Power corrupts.
Corrupts. Who is this man? So basically, he has barred the woman from seeing her 11-year-old son because she refused to take the COVID shot. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. This is out of Illinois. It's Cook County, Judge James Shapiro. Yeah. So I'm just. We get to a place where we got to stop or even realize that there are a lot of Trumpian supporters everywhere. And this is not new. Stuff like this has been going on for years, centuries, since we've been here through the medical, through doctors and nurses, through people in the court systems, attorneys, lawyers, judges, all kind of helping this system along to where people go, oh, racism is over. Where?
No, but this is what happens when you would hear them talk about packing the courts.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is what is meant.
Yeah.
Because you have so many people that have the same ideology
and agendas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you come to a place where, you're utilizing someone getting visitation of their child.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in. So now we're talking about if you don't have your shot and you go to court for whatever, you tell me the judge might say, well, have you had your shot? No. Okay. Well, then, I'm not going to grant you what you're here for until you go get that shot. Like, you have no, I don't even understand why this is like not even an uproar. Like, the Supreme Court should be on this instantly. You have no right to demand that of anyone, especially in family court. You're in family court. Do your job, sir. Just go over the facts of the money that you have and keep it pushing. For you to demand that she has a shot before you even see her again, to discuss whether or not she can get the child support increase or even visit her own child. And until then, he gets to stay with his father is absolutely ridiculous.
Looking at Tiffany Black?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? How does he relate? He relates. Go ahead.
Oh, when we're talking about them making all the courts conservative,
right?
They all think alike.
Right.
They all have the same agenda. That's what we meant by that.
Yeah. So, and the point of that is during Trump's administration, Mitch McConnell, the whole time you was worried about what Trump was doing, what he was saying, when he was talking about inject yourself with bleach, Mitch McConnell himself was putting judges in the courts while all this hoopla was going on about, China virus and people trying to figure out what's going on. Mitch McConnell was just packing the court completely full of conservative
judges.
Therefore, anything that came down the pike later on, regardless of who was president, they would be able to still have some cushion to insert their power. So this is another way, even, and not even necessarily knowing what side of the fence the judge leans on, just for the simple fact for him to say that it is his court and he can decide what he wants to do in his court, to demand that somebody actually gets a shot who is totally against it and has every right to do so, to demand that they have to, in order to first even be to see the judge, to have visitation with their son that they have shared with their husband, and to even be heard at child support court is ridiculous.
Yes, there is another another case.
There's more.
This is up in Ohio. A young man had picked up on charges for,
I think it was violation of.
No, he had fentanyl. And part of his, and the judge had put him on parole, and part of his parole was to get a job, secure a place to live, and to also take the jab. And right now they're just kind of riding it out because he has a certain time limit to take it. But everybody in the courtroom was just shocked, but nobody questioned it.
Right.
So they were they're just pretty much trying to ride it out to see actually what will happen. Well, the judges have been getting a lot of backlash behind that, and because the young man has gone he has a couple of videos floating around here that he had no intention of taking it. He's just not comfortable with it right now in the phase that it's in.
Right.
And that was before the okay from, was it the FDA?
Yeah. But they've been pushing that through now to the point where the FDA has green lighted. I want to say it's the Pfizer.
Yes, the Pfizer.
The first one to get greenlit from the FDA. But so I don't know. I just feel like as far as forcing people, and that even goes to the president himself demanding that federal workers get the shot. If they don't, then they will have to pay an increase of insurance and get tested every week. Also, I'm sure there's some sort of stipulation in there somewhere where they can maybe even lose their jobs. That I don't think that's fair for people. Let them make that decision for themselves. Now, if you're going to say, well, if you don't take the shot, then you have to wear a mask or you can only work certain hours because we can't have you around everybody, that's a different story.
Well, they were saying either take the jab or get tested weekly.
Yeah,
but now you don't even hear the tested weekly thing, because I know down here, I think today, matter of fact, either today or yesterday, they said all city workers have to be vaccinated by like October 18th. They're actually giving them a deadline, and they're not saying anything about as far as them being tested.
Right. I mean, because that would depend on until it's federally mandated. That would all depend on the state. The states can.
State and city workers. They pretty much do what they want to do.
Which that would be a whole nother.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. I'm thinking is you're definitely impeding on their rights. Suppose you have religious reasons, you have other medical reasons,
right.
And just to lay out a blanket statement, and until somebody seriously gets injured, behind it. Something really bad happens, maybe they'll rethink it. But of course, that's always after the fact. By then, somebody's already ill.
Right.
Because it's only going to take one person to get seriously ill or die.
That's it.
That's
all. It's unfortunate. I don't agree with that on any level. Whether it's Republican, Democrat, I don't think people should be forced at all to take anything. If you don't, you don't feel comfortable, you just don't feel comfortable. Now, I do feel like if you don't take it for whatever reason, you should wear a mask. That you should do.
I just find it hilarious. These motherfuckers can't wear a cloth. You can't wear a mask. You whine about a mask, okay? You can't mandate masks, which is a piece of cloth. And sitting your ass still. Well, it all boils down to greed. That's all it does. It boils down to greed.
Greed and just straight, wanting to just bite back against something because it looks or it makes you think you look politically strong in the face of kind of sticking it to the man, but at the same time, people are dying. You're looking at Florida. Florida has become a hotbed now for this Delta.
Yeah, that's because that bastard. I mean, Americans are so, man, you can't sit the fuck still for 5 minutes. They have a very short attention span. They think you know what that comes from too? That comes from privilege.
Yeah, but
you think the world revolves around you, but it doesn't.
And bends to you but do you blame them? They've been taught their whole life that all this was created by them, that they enrich the world with so much wisdom.
And that's why these motherfuckers, excuse me again, are losing their minds.
No, you're fine, but they are. I mean, they're really losing their shit, and it just gets frustrating to be like, we would not be in this position had this orange Cheeto taken it far more seriously than he did to begin with. But the fact that that didn't happen, then you're left with this bullshit, and you're just like, this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous. Now everybody got to be put on hold because of this. Children are now, the cases in children are rising with coronavirus and death.
Speaking of children, did you hear down in Florida that? Did you hear that down in Florida?
Yeah.
You heard that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, but I don't want to step on you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Hi, Tanari. How you doing? Good evening, everybody who's coming.
Right. So
okay. No, but go ahead, because I don't want to step on you.
No, you good. Ron DeSantis, this idiot, with children getting COVID, he's basically defied the mask mandate. A judge had to step in, a federal judge, and say, no, you cannot not mandate this during this crisis. Like, you have to make sure people are wearing masks. Children are dying. Their cases are rising in that state. It is ridiculous. But go ahead. You could proceed. I was looking.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was
Well,
saying.
you know, he withheld funds.
That too.
He actually disobeyed the judge and withheld funds for 2 districts that have decided not to pay him any attention.
Because they decided to have their schools wear masks.
To have their schools wear masks. Mm-hmm.
They re-implemented their dress code to where the dress code for the school and the school district requires masks. So therefore, he cannot punish them, so to speak, because it is part of the dress code. So that's how a lot of
withholding their pay.
So a lot of the counties in Florida have gotten around Ron DeSantis' stupid ass by putting it in their dress code that the children have to wear a mask. And Ron DeSantis has been
in the street lights
on the attack, trying to attack anybody who's going against his basically everybody's free. It doesn't really matter. I don't want nobody wearing masks or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Did you also hear out of that they're running out of oxygen?
Oh yeah, I kind of figured that much.
Everywhere, because a lot of the states that did have surplus wind up giving it to the states like Florida and Texas, who are running out. And now across the country, we are slowly coming to an oxygen shortage. What were you gonna say?
Maybe like had to be earlier this year. That did you hear that Florida actually destroyed ventilators?
No, I did not hear that.
They destroyed like 500 ventilators.
And for what?
Because it's Florida.
Oh man, these people. But yeah,
I don't know if they. I want to say that they were sent from either Korea or the Soviets.
More than likely, probably Korea.
And it wasn't North Korea. I mean,
even still, I could just imagine wherever it was from, these necks that happened to be red, just destroyed it just because they felt like it was, it was.
Did you read No Nonsense?
What her response to Me Black
has seen about black lights? Because they have received the jab under the black lights. It glows. I haven't heard that one. I did hear. I did hear. If you walk up some milk crates,
oh my God,
that you're gonna fuck yourself up when you fall.
Oh God!
And stop paying these crackheads to do that. Shit.
Welcome.
Just give them the money.
Thank you for dropping down, and hope you're having a comfortable seat in the balcony. We don't do bushes over here. We do balconies. No, but I like for people to sit down, have a seat. Um, I ain't even gonna get into that milk crate challenge right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
But
back to the serious
I'm
stuff.
gonna say that
Mm-hmm.
for this last little bit, with the walking your dog while black seems to be a problem
Yes.
in America, because it looked like a security guard.
Yeah.
He didn't really even look like a cop, but
yeah, he didn't look like a cop.
he did all this tussling with this black woman who was walking her dog. It looked like a rest area, a rest stop, and she probably was walking the dog. It looks like so the dog can pee.
No, it was actually a park in her neighborhood.
Was it?
Yeah, and it was like around 12. It was around 12 o'clock. Yeah, but there were some people out there. Okay. And if it's 100 degrees, yeah, it's hot. You know, no. take the dog outside, let the dog do his business.
But I thought it was like a truck stop or something because I saw a few trucks, like a few like big trucks. That's why I thought it was like a truck stop.
Well, you know what they do in trucks, right? They don't just they do deliver.
But anyway, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what was he policing? What was he securing? Because whatever was happening. And you sitting up here chasing this woman. I mean,
yeah, literally, but just his approach, the way he approached her, and then he felt that he could touch her.
Right.
If she was moving along, but I'm gonna have to say, ladies, please get bigger, more vicious dogs. That little dog.
That little dog. Yeah.
He was cute.
Right.
He was cute, but he should have tore that motherfucker a new asshole.
Right. I didn't even think he was like I was like the whole time I'm looking at the dog like grab at his ankles, do something.
Yeah. No, you know the first thing I thought, because I've seen it where they shoot the dog.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's the first thing I thought. That's the first thing I thought.
He would have lost it if he'd have done
Please
that.
be careful. These people out here have lost their minds, okay? Have definitely lost their minds.
Yeah,
especially white people.
Oh my gosh, did you see what happened to Shermani, the news journalist?
Yes, and that's a prime example.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. Like these people are off. Like there's no kilter for these people. There's no level of it is straight, just no nonsense. For you to run up on the reporter like that, and then try to
hopped out his car, hopped out his truck, because that was his truck.
Yeah, you see that and just like pulled over and just starts running. Like, what gives you the authority and the right to do so?
I'd have bopped that motherfucker with that.
Yeah, I would have too. I would have bopped his ass right on air, live on TV, so that everybody around it, please don't come talking stupid or being stupid. Go about your business, drive by like you used to do, and go, there's that news van again, and keep it moving. Now all of a sudden you feel the need to berate and attack reporters.
Yeah.
But these are the same group that when people were calling out the shameful acts that a lot of the Republican Democrats and the leaders of the Trump administration were doing when they were in restaurants, calling that inappropriate and rude. So you mean to tell me this man doing his actual job, reporting on a storm when your fat white ass is supposed to be out of the state because the storm is damn near at your doorstep, you got time to pull your honky-tonk truck over and berate a reporter.
Oh, I'd have had him grabbing his fucking heart, I tell you that much.
Right. Who's reporting weather? I mean, make it make sense, people. Like, it's really getting to be a bit.
They are. They have totally lost their minds. You know, they stress out anyway. Shit, they lose a little bit of money. Them motherfuckers jumping off buildings.
Yep.
Shit, I ain't doing all that.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna see who I can borrow some from, and if not, I ain't gonna worry about it.
Well, I mean, it is the honky-tonk truck, though.
Yeah, he sure did. He rolled right up in his truck, and you saw him running up to the reporter, to the weather guy.
Like, I'm just gonna turn this way.
Yeah, because he actually walked. He walked.
He ran. Yeah, he ran
and faced out the other way where he was facing out towards the water.
Right.
And then the guy jumped up in his face. Now to bopped him right in his goddamn head. Motherfucker rolled up on me and ain't wearing no mask.
Right.
I don't care how hard the wind is blowing.
I don't care if we outside or not. You too close. You in my space. But yeah, so people, please be careful. That's all I can say for the most part.
Yeah.
Let's be careful. The mayonnaise is out here. Did you actually see the one clip I was looking for because I was going to use it? There was a black officer detaining a white woman because she didn't want to leave the restaurant. And
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. She kept saying, "You can't touch me," or something.
You can't touch me. It's my right. You're invading my space. Why are you touching me? Stop touching me. And the whole time he's like, ma'am, get up, ma'am, let's go outside, ma'am. And I'm just saying to myself, had this person been black, whether the officer was black or white or whatever, this would have not gone down this way. You would have slammed that elderly woman, black man, Spanish man on that table and dragged them on out of here. The fact that he went back and forth till the other white man grabbed her and said, "Man, we got to get out of here. You have to leave. You have to get out of here." And then she's looking at the white officer. Did you hear her go, "Shame on you. Shame on you. For shame. You should be ashamed of yourself." Basically telling him the code is...
She should have flashed her membership card.
The code is, I'm white like you're white. You should be ashamed of yourself for harassing me like this. But not him. I don't want him touching me. He shouldn't be touching me. Why are you touching me? Like, what do you mean? Why is he touching you? He's an officer, right? Like when you tell us to comply, same story like before. Then why couldn't you just comply with your mayonnaise ass? No, because you felt you didn't need to. That it was beneath you to comply. So then when they slammed your head up against the patrol car, and they put your hands in handcuffs, and she still resisted. She didn't get no bullet in her ass.
They should have popped the cat. And a black man. Applause.
So, I'm just, the double standard for me is just way, way, way too much. All right. So now not really on a lighter note. Well, yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that one. Well, on a lighter note.
What was it?
Oh no, just Nene Leakes going to.
I got a thought. I have a thought on that.
Her bar.
We can discuss that.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I was at with it. You go to the bar because that's your job, right? Then somebody asks you for an autograph or a birthday shout out or something. You get upset. Then you felt the need to get on the microphone because people had complained about you not saying happy birthday or whatever, and probably went to Twitter and all that stuff while they were sitting there to say that Greg is at home dying and you never know what somebody's going through. Then why the hell are you sitting in there?
Okay, you just said what I was going to say. All right, next. No, but that but she should not have said anything.
No.
If she was just coming in to check check what's going on at the bar, but she should have she got enough money. She had people to do that for her.
This is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying. You have people to come in and do it. You could have hired someone, a friend of yours, to do it.
But not only that, during this time, if he's in the final stages, fuck that place. Okay, right. Plain and simple. It'll be there,
right?
Because who's to say you walk out the door, you get 5 minutes down the road, and he takes a turn for the roads, and he's gone. And then you're going to be kicking yourself in the teeth because you weren't there.
I just thought it was so ridiculous. Like,
no, but you got to remember, she's extra. Yeah, she's extra. I wasn't surprised to hear that because it was kind of like grandstanding, kind of.
Yeah,
when she got on the
mic. Yeah, like,
then stay home.
Stay home. You should stay.
You should stay home. And if sometimes you need to take a break. When people are getting ready to transition, sometimes you do need to take a little break and decompress. Right. But don't assume that people know what's going on in your life like that.
Because they don't. And at the end of the day, if you decided to walk through that door, then that's what you decided to do. So when you walk through that door, you already know. If it's about business, it's about business. What's going on outside that door doesn't matter at that point. For you to bring that there and then go, oh, well, I didn't want to say that because I'm dealing with my own issue. What the hell you come here for? You could have had Cynthia do a damn walkthrough. Cynthia's coming in my place, take a couple pictures, sign a couple autographs, or whomever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Somebody else could have covered it.
Yeah, I mean, really, it wasn't even that like it's not even that serious. People are going to your lounge or bar, whatever the hell it is,
and these people don't know. These people don't, because I remember the last thing I heard anything about him was that he was doing okay.
Right,
and I did not know that he was in his final stages, or you know, or what, you know, hospice care or whatever that's going on. We say, I don't think that she ever really forgave him. What is she? I don't watch it anymore. It's just too much.
I just think she's been using him.
But she's. I mean, it's an agreement. You know, if it's agreement, you swing on down off the pole. I mean, it was definitely an upgrade.
Not off.
Now she's.
But I really just don't see her. I mean.
Maybe when she was young. I mean.
Yeah, maybe
how
when
old
she
was she younger?
But I'm just.
I've seen some, but you would not.
No, I mean, I've seen some too that I was like,
why are you up there? Actually, how the hell did you get up there?
Grandma, go sit down. Why are you here? Like, you should not be here. You really shouldn't. It was like that. Remember the HBO special, like when they used to do Hunts Point? It was like watching one of the ladies from Hunts Point older on the pole. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Please, Grandma, get off that pole.
I mean, I know you're trying to stay youthful, but goddamn, this ain't it.
It ain't working. That ain't it.
It ain't it. Yeah, but that whole thing, that was definitely wrong. You can't assume people know what's going on in their life. What she should have done is not said anything.
Right, but just not go. Or if you're gonna say something, then you're going to send it in a letter form or announce it on Twitter and be done with it. You're not gonna actually sit there and get on the mic and totally just, I mean, turn a situation that was supposed to be something, these intimate moments you should be sharing with your husband, to this just bullcrap.
Yeah. Like no nonsense said. She's probably irritated. You'd be surprised how many people become irritated when they had, you know, where you would take care of them, and it's like, you know what, I'll take care of you, I'll wipe your ass, and it's nothing. You know, you're sick, I'm gonna be here for you, I'm gonna hold your hand, I'm not gonna let you go. And then you have some people, they just get so fucking, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. But it is
different. And these are their spouses.
Yeah. But it is different too when you have the extra funds to really take care of someone.
Yes, when you have the funds,
really not have it, and you have to be the person doing all the main work. Like, you don't have to be. I'm pretty sure she has.
They have around the clock nursing care.
I'm sure she has never. She may have cleaned up from his throw up, but she never.
She ain't even do that shit. I don't believe she did that shit. And you know she ain't wiped. She ain't never wiped his ass.
No, she ain't never wiped his ass or nothing. She ain't never done any of that. She may have changed the bandage.
Because you want to know. You want to know if a motherfucker really loves you,
right?
When they can wipe your ass. Believe me, I've done it.
Oh, look at
I have. That's right. I'm a good man, Savannah.
He's a good ass wiper.
That's right. No skid marks. Front to back. I know how to wipe. I know my shit.
But I just don't. You know, I was like, what? I was like, who does this? Who really does this at this point in somebody's life? There is no reason for her to even be there. Able to choose spouses according to money, not love. That's his thing, really. But at the end of the day, where does that get you? I mean, I've even heard I think it was his stepson talking this mess about, that's why, you know, these women, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, come on, God. Like, come on, people. Like, really, come on. This is too much. We're creating these monsters on both sides of these people with these expectations that really don't exist. I mean, if you ain't about shit, you just ain't about shit.
Yeah, and it shows.
That's just it. Yeah,
it shows. It definitely shows. It comes out. You always know. You always know when your so-called your friends or your besties, you know, when stuff really hits the fan.
The fan, right. Because these, you have to be mindful. It's like the question of, be careful of the company you keep. That's why there may be a situation where you may need that person, and when everything is good and all that's great, they could be the best person in the world, but the minute you get stricken a little bit, like he probably saw that early on when he first started feeling some type of way. That was probably before they even got remarried. But he
probably when she outpaced him financially.
Yeah,
because money will change up a motherfucker real quick.
Because if I don't need you anymore,
I can go out on my own. Here, everybody, I have people calling me.
Right.
They want me to come on their shows.
Right.
They want me to do this.
They want me to see me. They don't want to see you. They want to see you. I think it was ridiculous. And then too, for her to mention that it's her business along with her son. So if it's your son, if it's both y'all business, then why couldn't you be home with Greg and then have your son go? No, but she needed to go. So I mean, it's just it's whatever with these people.
But she'll find out if she's not there or if she hasn't really done the work. There's nothing more satisfying than helping somebody transition.
Yeah, that is true.
There's not many, and I call it a privilege.
Yeah,
some people have a privilege of when a child is being born, seeing them come into the world, and to help somebody, you usher them out,
right?
As peaceful, or just your presence, just being in the room. You don't have to say nothing. You just sit in the corner, just be there. You assume that they don't know that you're that you're not there, but they do.
Right.
They do.
Yeah, that part is true.
Yeah.
What else was there? Was there anything else? No, I don't think there was anything else unless I'm forgetting something.
Look at your notes. What we miss?
No, my notes we got that. I was just thinking about anything funny on a lighter note.
Oh, lighter note.
I've thought about, but I forgot. But no, I just really can't believe she did that. That really stuck with me. Like, how dare you? Like, what does that got to do with anything?
Yeah. But when she went into the whole speech of you're not knowing what's going on or whatever, it's like, well, no, they would not know.
But you wouldn't know what's going on in somebody else's life either. That might be somebody's birthday and it may be their last birthday.
Yeah.
Because they may be dealing with cancer as well. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. Just like they don't know, you don't know. So for you to then act a certain way towards them is bullshit. So, but I don't know. We'll see what this turns out to be.
Now, let's talk about these people falling off these damn milk crates again.
First of all, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it was something about crates, but yeah, these cheap ass milk crates. Understand?
You can't find any anywhere. I'm waiting to see some down here in my hood.
Fake dollar crates. They are going to fold and bust over. You got to get the actual milk crates from the milk dispensaries that are thicker and heavier.
Yeah, they done built. You see those things buckling
and waving. I mean, the things be like, and just.
And if you're over 150, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're definitely gonna.
You're gonna fall through. Like,
I done seen some heavyweights slap the ground. I know. Oh, what do they call it? The Hood Olympics?
Yeah, something. I don't know. But I've just seen some people. Well, I've seen some people not even get off the second step and fall. Okay. I've seen some people go 2 steps and kabow. But yeah, these people are really losing their minds. And I'm gonna need y'all to get it together for somebody really. I mean, this white lady fell, broke her whole arm. Her arm was twisted like this. She just got up and started walking. I said, what's she going to start a mess?
Because she knows she fucked up. That's why. And when she goes to the emergency room and they ask her what happened to her, because a woman go into the emergency room, they think her old man to whoop their ass, and they keep drilling, and she'll be like, no, because I was out here trying to get a fucking gold medal
doing the milk crate challenge.
And I
know she did it on purpose, thinking that she was gonna get some drugs if she did hurt us.
and that's horrible too. Using those damn. But then one crackhead, that motherfucker floated over that shit. I was like, oh wow, was he already high?
Oh,
I mean, but I've seen
I
a lot of them
that.
that I've seen a lot of them just kind of lean and you're waiting for them to hit the ground and they just never do.
Oh yeah.
God.
I've seen one where the guy was rolling and he was doing the challenge and made it across. I've seen one where this lady literally got to the top and tumbled. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really ridiculous. I've seen some horrible ones.
Now I know my big ass could not get up there.
I'm not even going to even try with my skinny ass.
I could.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, probably I slept on the first one. I've been a fraction of the ankle or something.
Break my whole neck. No, thank you. No,
and then I had to go to the hospital and explain what happened. Somebody whoop your ass
by yourself.
By yourself. Go limping in there with my mask on.
By yourself.
And see, that's another thing too. Y'all putting yourself in danger.
Right.
Right. Now you have to go. You have to go in these places to the hospital. That's full of herpes. Oh man, speaking of herpes, go ahead.
Oh Lord, go ahead.
We want to talk about Aura Kelly. Y'all still stepping in the name of love now?
Y'all shouldn't have been stepping in the name of love the first time he did the shit. So I don't know why now all of a sudden that everything's coming out.
He is a pedophile.
That we are feeling some type of way about R. Kelly. He been doing the shit, but everybody just
going after little girls and little boys. Promised that boy that he was going to have a career
in singing. And he was singing all right, singing on them balls. When he said nothing wrong with the bump and grind.
No, what is that one he did in the closet? We should have knew some shit up. Was that shit up then?
I mean,
you remember that whole little video and stuff?
The mini series.
Yeah.
Yes,
Aura
Kelly. Yes.
Everybody getting up there and they all singing.
They all telling on him now. Poor thing.
That boy was 17.
Oh, was he?
He was 17, and he told it to keep it on the down low. So R. Kelly was a DL man.
He himself was trapped in the closet. But I'm not surprised. I mean, you figure this man has probably had young girls and women out the yin yang. Eventually, he would make that transition over to be like, well, let me see what that's like.
Had me scared to go to McDonald's.
The party going.
He picking up girls at McDonald's, at the fast food, and at school.
At McDonald's, he was picking up girls
at
the junior high school or the high school where he used to go. Still, as a grown ass man, full star, sitting across the street from the school, picking up on people.
Talk to the mic. Oh yeah, he was singing a cappella.
La la la. So I don't know. I don't have no words for this man. I think people should.
I wish they stopped wasting time.
What you mean
with the trial? I wish they stopped wasting. Just put his ass in. He's fucking guilty, man. I saw that shit on tape when that tape first came out.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
and I looked at that little girl. And I said, "Oh, that's a little girl. You're nasty. You're nasty,
little girl."
And everybody was still dancing and shaking and jiggling and shit. It's ridiculous.
Still doing it. Well, you know, he figured every time he did something that was shameful, that if he came out with something that was a song that was inspirational,
if it doesn't remind me of that episode of the Boondocks,
the Boondocks, right? If I believe I can fly, then what? Braid my hair, Mama, the song about his mama and all that. Then we just we forget about it. Now all of a sudden, because this all has come out, all this Me Too movement and other things, now it's just ripping the Band-Aid off. But my whole thing, even like with the Aaliyah situation, I'm looking at the parents like,
yeah,
did y'all like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And a lot of the parents are
And,
guilty of the same thing.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Send
Oh,
those kids up.
promised.
Look at Michael Jackson.
Hmm.
Send them children over there. You sending your children over there. Excuse the language. You send your children over there to get fucked.
Well, I don't think they necessarily thought that.
Oh, who, the parents? You don't think they did?
I don't think they did initially.
Mm-hmm. Was he? Was he? Oh, that's just gross. Was he just milking them to keep him youthful? He was rubbing it on his nose. That's why his nose fell apart. Okay, I'm done. But you do, just because these people are larger than life, you will sacrifice your child.
Yeah, but that's what it is, because the problem is that there are a lot of parents who have dreams and aspirations of being a star. So when they have a child,
make it make sense. Come on, make it make sense.
They have that child to get into that point. Yes, please, time out for you. When they get to that point, they will do anything because they're living their lives or their aspirations and dreams through their child. So they'll push their child to do anything.
It's horrible.
It is. I mean, it really is. The parents are the key in this situation. And I think a lot of parents turned a blind eye because they were looking at the possibility of their child being a star and having all this money, and they saw things and they kind of just, maybe it's just well, maybe he'll help her get that album out quicker. So maybe we'll just,
He's over there fruit juicing them babies.
Not fruit juicing.
That's like I said, that's why his nose fell apart. He wasn't getting no more of that.
He was
protein.
Yeah. But I mean, in his case, I
look, if you could afford to make your own children, and none of that shit come from him.
But for me, I think it was just really, for him in his situation, I think it was just really like, I'm not growing up. Do I really think he was touching kids? No, but I really just think he was just in a place where I'm a child and I'm gonna do childish stuff and I don't care what nobody.
Yeah, and children do explore. Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you got to say? Come on, give me a good one.
I'm not going there.
Come on.
But I mean, if that was the case,
I got time tonight. Okay. But I'm just
saying, he could have explored. If that was the case, he could have explored with tons of other people. He had access to everyone to explore with.
Too close, family.
What family? He was exploring with Madonna's cuckoo ass. He was exploring with.
I wouldn't touch Madonna.
He was exploring with Lisa Marie Presley.
I wouldn't touch her ass either. She white. No. Stephanie Mills, yeah. Because they used to date.
Bunch on. Okay. Not a problem. Send me the DM. I'll wait for it. Yeah, I just don't, I just think some of this has to, we can't all put the blame on R. Kelly or people like R. Kelly.
You have to have enablers to do it.
Yeah, there are tons of people who play a part in the reason why he was able to continue this thing down to the record label, to the people who knew what was going on and kind of just, oh man, that's just him being him. Because then it begs to differ when people talk about other people, even males, getting raped in the studio late night or whatever, that this stuff really exists. So when you hear people like the Baby and other, talk about, it's this gay agenda. Honey, y'all in the studio late night humping and bumping each other.
I can't remember which rapper it was, but they had taken a snapshot of them in the studio, and in the background of the screen was some gay porn.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was a long time ago.
What is the agenda?
Right. But because there are artists that you know that you bop with and that you that really go both, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
at the same
But
time,
you know what you gotta have? You have to keep up the persona.
right,
Yeah,
right.
you
But I
have to
mean,
keep up the persona.
but it is something that's prevalent throughout not only entertainment but religion too. You got the preachers doing the same thing, all up on the pulpit talking about damnation to homosexuality and all kinds of mess. And at the
Yeah.
same time,
At the hotel.
hotel humping and bumping.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Eddie Long was long dicking it down on the
Oh
boy.
hell yeah, with his little muscle shirts on.
But I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. So, the enablers and everybody else um, needs to be held accountable. But I'm sure that a lot of people that are telling their story right now are, are freely telling their story because the prosecution is giving them some kind of pass, so they can tell their story and not be
face charges.
Yeah, so now, yeah, of course they're telling everything, things that they swore to take to the grave for our.
Because that's even like with the Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
When they went to get married and somebody had to falsify paperwork because she was 15.
15, yeah.
Saying that she was 18 to obtain a marriage license. Now I want to know who the person was that okayed it. Which wouldn't be really hard because you just backtrack it, time wise.
Yeah, that's it. You just backtrack it time wise, and then we don't. And then in a day and age where we don't have the access to the things we have now, we talking about back then, like you could pull out video footage, dude. Pull out the VHSs. I'm sure you see somewhere on the camera somebody go doop, doop, doop. Acting as a parent, but it's unfortunate that in the wanting to be celebrity or the guise of entertainment that a lot of parents subject their children to a lot of things and it's not even entertainment, it's even just in families in general. If you know of the history of Aunt Betsy touching on the boys or Uncle Pete touching on children.
Yeah, she nasty. She nasty.
She nasty. And then if you need a babysitter, you gonna call them. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what? You
wonder why your kid traumatized. Don't set your kids. Yeah, it ain't funny, but don't set your fucking kids up. Yeah. Don't set your kids up.
It's like you set your kids up for what?
So I remember my grandmother would always say, "Don't lead them babies with no men's."
Right.
Mm-hmm. And because it was always like, and I always, as a kid, you're like,
you're like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like, don't you do that?
Yeah. My grandmother.
Where they at? Go get them. Go get them now.
Right.
It's like shit. You couldn't even fucking leave them with the fathers.
You're right. Right.
And
that's the sad part. And now you never know. Like, you thinking, oh, you can leave, your boys with your sons or your uncles.
No.
You can leave them. Shit.
No. Nope. Because the women are touching them now too.
Yeah.
Damn teachers.
That's what R. Kelly said when he was at the interview with Gayle King, that a woman had touched him, and that's why he was the way he was. An older woman. She was much older.
Yeah.
So that's why even like that old rat, roach-looking little Bootsy.
Yeah. Now see. I wonder if Child Protective Services tipped over there.
Well, and this is what I'm saying. Like, you started worried about the impact on children when you falsified your nephew and your child to an older adult woman. And at the same time, R. Kelly said that this is the reason, quote unquote, hypothetically, that this was the introduction to him being salacious with younger girls and all types of stuff, is because he was introduced to this kind of atmosphere through this older woman, a friend of the family of his mother, which, whatever. At some point, you're an adult, you make the decisions that you choose to make for your choice. So the whole thing is just real sick. And I just, you know, people are like, oh, that's just real sad. The man's sick. He's sick. He's sick. He's sick. But he been sick.
Mm-hmm.
He been sick. Y'all was just, you know, liking the music, talking about, oh, that boy talented. That boy good. Almost like you was watching Sexual Chocolate off of Color Purple. Color Purple. Coming to America.
Coming to America.
And it was like, that boy good. It don't matter that he crazy or that he touched little girls, but he can sing. That boy good. Mm-hmm. And then you find out the man can't write his own lyrics because he can't read.
He can't read or write.
So
but he thinks he's a genius. Sounds familiar?
Well, because
you got another one wearing stockings on his goddamn face.
Because they made you feel like you're a genius because wow, this is such brilliance. And it's like, cool, I get it. Your music came from pain and hurt. But if you had the lyrics in your head and somebody had to literally write your lyrics down for you.
That is sad.
That's, as a grown ass man, that's sad. That people have pushed you along.
Couldn't read your. How can you not read your contracts, the fine print? I'm surprised he has anything.
But that's what I'm saying. So you was trusting people that much. Basically, you putting your trust in all of these people to protect you, which I find it to be like, wow, really? There had to be something. You had to be either holding something over these people's head, or you had information on a lot of people to where in which if they did decide to turn on you, then you would, you would have enough to retaliate against them. Mm-hmm. And this is the safe haven because you are now behind bars and have no access to these people. I mean, along with the prosecution probably giving them sweet deals to where they won't be prosecuted for any kind of backhanded shit they've participated in, like getting the girls, probably having sexual escapades with the girls or the boys or both. They won't be put up on charges.
Yeah, well, they really cancel him now.
Right.
That it's been that it came from the young man's mouth himself.
Right.
Because he sure can't write another fucking song.
Oh, he can write them.
Oh, he write them in jail.
He write them in jail.
Matter of fact, he can get all he wants in jail.
He gonna do another ABC song. Element of P.
Element of P.
Element of P. It's one word. Element of P. Booth needs several wellness checks. Yeah,
he sure
really
do.
Wrong with him. Something's really wrong with him, and I really don't understand. But I mean, I get it because, of course, it's all about the salaciousness of saying something to be put out there to be trending, especially when your music ain't trending.
Yeah, you were saying. Remember, he doesn't have anything popping right now, so you have to stay relevant.
But I think it's ridiculous. But before I go, one quick question: you hear about this Drake and Kanye West kind of feuding back and forth, and Kanye putting out Drake's address? Like, I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Not that people are really gonna like pop up and show up, because I really think that'd be a bit much.
You think?
But I mean, he has enough land to, by the time somebody actually gets to the front of it, I'm sure.
Believe me, now he probably doubled his security.
Right. Got the Nation of Islam security. Like, where you going? Not in here. So I just think it's ridiculous. Who knows? It could be all to sell albums and get people, hyped up about their coming albums that they're supposed to be putting out back to back against each other. But I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No nonsense. I also heard that he was looking to sell his masters because he's run out of money, and he also has other artists masters also.
Masters as well, yeah. Mm-hmm. He does that. But I don't know who would buy them at this point. Somebody who's going to buy it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if they can go ahead and release the song.
His masters or his music at this point. I don't know.
No, because he's pretty much been blacklisted. Let's see, guys.
What are your thoughts on that?
On Biden's impeachment and Afghanistan and even more than 200 men.
Child, we gonna impeach Biden for, and I get it. I just feel like if we're gonna impeach Biden for that, we need to impeach George.
Run down the list.
George W. Bush. You can impeach Obama for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can impeach Trump for that as well. You can definitely impeach Trump for that because Trump was the one that allowed the motherfuckers free reign to be able to take Afghanistan over.
That's why they knew once they pulled out.
Yep. So he allowed it for 4 years to go on. So I'm just, at this point, it's like I'm not surprised with this. Of course, people were going to lose their lives.
Because it has happened before.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Even though this isn't supposedly the same Taliban, they're new and improved.
Right.
They're more savvy now. But you still have different factions.
Yeah,
it's not just one group. There are various factions
all over again. It's Benghazi all over again, where where you're thinking, okay, we have time to get these people out because I see a rise in this kind of heat, so we need to start getting these people out. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they were like, nope, surprise, we've been in the bushes the whole time. Let's get these motherfuckers. And it's like, oh, we have to get these people out. And people wind up dying because of this rush to get the people out. Now, am I saying could it have been done better? Hell yeah, it could have been done a hell of a lot better. But at the end of the day, when you need to get people out of Dodge, and especially high classified people, in a time where everybody's not going to make it. I mean, that's just the hard fact.
You have to remember it's war.
Yeah, that's just the hard fact.
Unfortunately, and it's not as cut and dry and, and civilized. War isn't civilized. That's why the Afghanis have survived occupation by the British, by the Soviet Union, and us, because they believe in total warfare, which means at any means. Mm-hmm. So they'll strap a bomb to grandma's back and send her into the bank, or a military base, or roll a baby carriage with a baby in it, because they believe in total warfare. I mean, when it's a religious thing, and even though it's so distorted now, these people have been fighting for hundreds of years. Mm. Fighting for hundreds of years. But answer a question.
No, I don't think Americans should come before any Afghan people, but
because this is part of that question I want you to answer too. Go ahead.
But I don't feel like any Americans should come before Afghan people. But the issue is, and the fact of the matter is, the U.S. military and other personnel. We're not just talking. I mean, I know a lot of times we just think, oh, it's just the military. No, we're talking about highly classified American outputs, sitting in Afghanistan, collecting intelligence, all that type of stuff was going on. There's a lot of other stuff going on other than the military just kind of policing, that they needed to get those people out of Dodge because they have a lot of secrets and intel that if they got caught up, we'd be in a shitload of trouble with all of the information that they know. So they had to get those people out. And again, do I think that Americans come before Afghans? No. But at the same time, before Trump got into office, the Afghan people had the ability to kind of, all right, take it upon themselves to govern their own nation. For a while, they did that. And then they kind of just backed off a little bit too, figuring like we want them, kind of help us along. And after a while, it was like, okay, well, how long are we going to sit there and help? And of course, Trump came in and was just like, well, if you give me some money, I'll back off you altogether. Mm-hmm. Which of course happened. Is money, they threw money in the hotel. He backed off completely. He had Mike Pompeo's crusty, dusty, fat ass actually sit on national TV and talk about how great the Al-Qaeda people of Afghanistan were, and that they were working on this kind of peace deal to bring them back into the fold. And you see how that turned out. And
if you've noticed in their exit, The United States, whenever they pull out of a territory, prime example, with Vietnam, they destroy everything.
Everything. Yeah.
They the service dogs, they'll kill them. They'll destroy all the equipment. You didn't see that with them because they figured that these people were going to be able to handle it. But once everything has transpired, those people knew that there was no hope for them.
Mm-hmm.
No hope whatsoever.
If they didn't leave, if they did not leave, like really head on, that was it. If they're trying to stick around to like help people or get their operatives out, they were going to die.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate thing because again, we're still dealing in war. I know, we don't hear about it because you don't talk about it as much, or it's not something that. But there was actually war still going on every day there, whether we knew about it or not. There was still certain pockets of war going on. So
yeah. Oh, answer my question. Here's a good one. Okay. Why are people visiting? Why are civilians visiting Afghanistan? Why are you sending school groups to Afghanistan? I know you heard about that one, didn't you?
No, I didn't hear those school groups.
When everything started picking up and they were evacuating and doing one of the news conferences, they asked whatever the woman's name is, they asked her, was she aware that there was a school group over there on a class trip in Afghanistan, and they were already 10 days late?
Wow.
Now I don't know whether or not they found them, and this was before the flight started coming out, and they were already 10 days late.
Who would orchestrate that?
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. It's like, wait a minute, you send, and they were like 20 students and maybe 16 adults, and even they were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who in the hell would even okay something like that? You're in a war zone.
Right.
But again, white people. Okay.
That's just crazy. What was your question? COVID is not.
No, you can kiss that goodbye. That's done.
Yeah. Whenever there's something new on the horizon, everything else takes a back burner. I mean, and it's going to. And I mean, it's not, and COVID is not just high because of him not speaking about it. It's high for a number of reasons. But yeah.
But the main reason is because it is a virus. Right. It does not have a time limit. You still have to follow the same protocols.
Suddenly pulling out Americans out of the. Well, no, it wasn't Tiffany Black. Just to correct that, it wasn't something sudden. I do believe that he had.
No, this was planned.
He had planned to do this before. It's just that he was.
Well, what it was Trump last year.
Oh, yeah, that too.
had told them that this was pretty much a done deal at a certain time, but he could have extended it to give them more time to get out. Who's to say that once Trump lost, he probably said, "Let me just throw another wrench in there and say, well, we want them out by such and such a date."
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of how it happened. If once he knew he lost, he was just like, "All right, burn the shit."
Yeah, It was like, I don't give a fuck, because you know what? You didn't hear even the stupid shit that we were used to hearing every day come out of the Oval once Trump. Yeah, and it was great. I loved it. It was so fucking quiet.
It was even quieter when they got rid of his social media.
Oh yeah, that was even better. Let me see. Then open up the borders.
Hispanics are barely making it during COVID. Well, personally, I don't think any of the borders are truly open like that because they're trying to protect from the spread of COVID. because Canada's border is not really open like that.
Mm-mm.
And the southern border. And speaking of the southern border, that Great Wall that the former president put up, that nice little wind gust knocked them walls straight on down.
Well, you
So,
know they should have put up there. Should have put some milk crates up there. That'd have kept them out.
but yeah, I don't. Tiffany, like I don't necessarily. I feel you on that, but no, the borders are closed. I know Canada's border is definitely pretty tight. The southern border, it's pretty much on lockdown, trying to protect from the spread. So it is really not
Yeah.
the influx of people going back and forth as people claim to
Yeah.
be.
Plus
Now,
the violence down in South America is unreal.
right. And
You
then
know.
that too, we have to realize that there is a lot of unrest going on in South America. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are dying.
So many places are destabilized,
Yeah.
and you have to think about it. If you're gonna carry your infant child or give your infant child to a total stranger,
Right.
to there's something really going on. Something really going on. I mean, between the gang situation down there a lot of those South American countries are destabilized and worse than here.
Mm.
You know, and they figured they have some family up here that they may be able to make a better life for their child. So if you were willing to risk your child going across 3 or 4 countries,
Yeah.
you know.
But then that's the question. But begs the question here with what you said that no one other than Americans should be able to come here. Now, what if, God forbid, something was going on in America and you had
Oh,
to?
shit. No, you know what happened? Mexico
Yeah,
will close that
right.
fucking border and you're
No,
not going anywhere.
just like what was the
What's that movie we saw? Yeah.
Purge movie,
Mhm.
where the Purge was no longer just a holiday day. That
Oh
the Purge
yeah, all the time.
all the time.
Yeah, but
It
they
was
had another
no,
one where
it
uh,
cleared up.
the polar ice cap shifted,
Oh
and,
yeah,
and I can't remember the name of the day after tomorrow,
yeah, for
and
tomorrow.
everybody was trying to move down south, and the
Yeah.
and the Mexicans closed. They closed that fucking border. They put up milk crates. They said you can't come.
But yeah, I mean, then we would be in the same, thing. Now, I'm not saying, of course, things need to be done, and they are done. What I want people to get out of the mindset of thinking that because people are saying refugees are coming here, that they're just freely coming here. No, they go through a vetting process
Yeah.
to get here. They're not just freely just here you go and dropped off. They are vetted before they are allowed to actually.
Because that's even like the Afghanis. You
Right.
notice that a lot of them were just hopping on planes, but a lot of them won't hit the states.
No,
You need to have the proper paperwork.
right.
And I'm sure that the ones that were really crucial with sensitive information,
Yes.
they're in the states because
Right.
they have the paperwork.
Right.
But all of those ones that maybe he was an Uber driver for somebody
Right.
on the base or something,
Right.
they're going to have paperwork.
Maybe talking about people who are involved in intelligence, like the CIA,
Yeah.
and those type of.
Oh yeah, they will be protected.
Those people will be protected.
They'll put them in Amish country up in
Right.
Pennsylvania.
But that's why I'm saying that. Hell, if they don't, they do.
Mhm.
But that's why I was saying that it's unfortunate that people have lost life. Any kind of life is unfortunate when it is lost. But when you're dealing with all these different parts, especially when you have opposition headed toward you, the main thing is to get the information and the people out.
Mhm.
And everybody else is kind of,
Secondary.
unfortunately, they're secondary. And that's just how it works. It's a cruel thing, but war isn't pretty,
Mhm.
and by no means. We are so thinking that we go over to a nation and we're the shining thing
Yeah.
of democracy.
You
And
have a technologically advanced and everything, and that don't mean nothing. They're beating your ass with sticks. Okay.
Rocks and debris,
Mhm.
because you don't know the terrain, and a
Yeah.
lot of times we get into this thing like, yo, we're American, we can just go anywhere, and it's like, but you don't know the area. So then the people of the area have the upper hand. So you never really grasp the concept or even obtaining full control of the country. You never will, because you don't know the terrain. You it's not yours.
Yeah.
It's not yours at all.
And here's a little history lesson. Now, that's one of the reasons why they did not enslave the Indians.
Yeah.
Because they were familiar with the terrain.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They just gave them blankets.
Yeah, I agree with smallpox. But yeah, when you know the terrain, I mean, sure, they could just go ahead and escape. They would be all right. They could live off the land.
Mm-hmm. No, Tiffany Black, I definitely, you're entitled to your opinion, but I just don't, because I mean, even here, we could sit here and say, only Americans, but here we have people who are Americans just like us, don't want us here. So I mean,
But I'll tell you I will tell you one thing. As the weather situation starts to worsen, you're going to see more shifting of people moving, different countries, different regions of the world. So pretty much just get used to it. It's just the way that it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be some places that aren't going to be they're going to be uninhabitable.
Right.
I mean, you have deserts, you have certain areas that are just flooding out every year. There's no way in the world, down like in New Orleans, you're below sea level. You're losing that.
They have due to the storm, there were gators like freely.
Yeah.
Just that was so crazy. The man was on his step and he was about to go down into the water to go do something, and they just like, I'm like, wow, that is so.
Yeah. You have to think about all that, the swamp areas and things like that.
Yeah. So prayers go out to the people out there. That's totally crazy. And yeah. That's all I got. It's gator breeding season, is it? Well, some gators breed all year round. But anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I don't know. It's not really funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
YouTube drama.
I don't know if I've picked up on any, but
your boy set the house on fire, right?
Oh yeah, I just
did you see that? Did you see that?
I saw the picture. I was wondering. I was like, please don't tell me he did that smoking or drunk.
Yeah, probably left something smoldering and burnt up the damn side of the house.
And I'm like, oh my god.
That whole little corner.
Yeah, whole little
all burnt up.
Beer can and all. And that next to the protein.
What's that damn shit he drank all the time? Just like that
nutty.
No, that 50-gallon, that goddamn 50-gallon can. I said that'd have been enough to put it out. But he had went to the store, and his neighbor he was on his way back, and his neighbor told him that the side of the house had caught on fire, and the police came out and everything. It was burnt.
Yeah, it's burnt.
You know that. Mm-hmm. I was like, and first, now that's one way to blow your fucking high. I tell you that one, because that motherfucker was he was sober. He was sober.
Oh my God!
You ever get your high blown like that? That's a mind fuck. That is a mind fuck. It's something, and especially when it's like an emergency, you snap out that bitch so quick like that. It's like, what? It's like, damn, where'd it go? Mm-hmm.
With the police there, definitely. You better. Yeah. Wow. Well, they'd be looking for a new place soon, I guess.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, wow. You're not gonna get any help. They're not having the eviction moratorium. They can't keep you in.
Yeah. Wow.
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 Shit, I can't. I laugh so much I can't remember his name. What's his name? What his name? What his name?
Rico?
Rico.
Oh,
No, because I was so busy laughing.
oh,
No,
yeah.
because no nonsense. She said she was saying she was lost. She didn't know who it
Oh,
was. It was Rico. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
But
what she was about. It was
no,
Rico.
I was laughing. I think just reminiscing about having my high blown. His name went right out of my head.
I said, who done built it down the side of the house? And then I was thinking, as I seen the picture, please do not tell me that he was drunk and that happened because of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at everything on there. I'm like, there's a propane tank right there. I'm like, that could have been so much worse.
Yeah. First, I thought it was like when they said the house was on fire, and the look on his face was like, oh shit, he left something on the stove.
Right.
But to see that his corner,
right, on fire, it was like, oh man, oh damn. But yeah, prayers go out to Rico. Hopefully he can bounce back from that and find a safe haven where he can stay and not be outside setting shit on fire.
Yeah, but you know what too? There might be the eye opener, the thing that wakes him up. Snaps him out of what, because he's just on a roll. Just on a roll. Let's say scenario. Wow.
That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But I don't know. Whew. That's all I can see.
Yeah, but what did I tell you? I told you something's going to happen. Something's going to happen because just so much dumbness going on.
Yeah.
So much dumbness going on. Oh, and what about your president taking a nap while he was sitting there with the prime minister from Israel? I thought he died. I was like, oh, Joe.
I was just sitting there saying, like, yo, you could at least lift your head up and acknowledge like the man was talking to you. He is literally talking.
You know what? I thought the clip had froze because the hands didn't move or anything, and his head was down.
Hands didn't move, his head was down. So I was like, did he think? And then I'm like, well, maybe he thought the man was praying, and I'm like, he clearly is not praying.
No. Now, granted, the guy was talking, and it was boring as hell. But
somebody couldn't give him some. What was Trump sniffing? Adderall or whatever it was. They couldn't give him no uppers.
No, what you do is you schedule these appointments in between his naps.
I mean, hell, Trump didn't come down out of the residence until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, to the afternoon.
So I mean, I don't know, but Sleepy Joe, we need not you to be sleepy.
Be so sleepy. No, I was hoping he didn't die. I was like, oh no, he died. I was like, oh shit, he died during the prayer. I was like, that would really look bad.
It would really look bad. But yeah, somebody keep Joe with some Joe so he can stay up.
And you know what I did? I ran, took my Centrum 7.
Yeah,
because I knew that's what happened. He forgot.
Silver? What you got, the silver?
They got the silver. Got the silver. That's right.
So please,
for guys over 50. That's right.
Give Sleepy Joe some Joe so he can stay up. And
no, they wearing his ass out.
No dose.
They are wearing his ass out.
Or maybe some 5-hour energy drink.
Maybe
it should get no,
because that probably stop his heart. That shit ain't good for you either. It's a Ford logo.
No thanks.
Well, he couldn't come and get it here. Just outlawed it here.
Jesus. I was like, oh no, don't do it. They already call you Sleepy Joe. Now you just gave
him because I was just waiting. I was waiting for Trump
to I told y'all, Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
He don't need to be talking with his diaper wearing ass. I think he just
when he had his pants on backwards.
Yeah, I think he shits on himself. I don't know what nobody say. I think
I was like, God damn, why look like he got an ass in the front?
And an ass in the back. That's because he's a shitter. He wears them depends.
Depends.
But
you got skid marks in his drawers.
Skid row.
Okay, now has anybody heard any new white people say they don't take baths? Is there anybody else we need to know about? Because we need to keep up with this.
No.
We definitely need to
It's a
keep up
health
with
crisis.
this.
It really is a health crisis. I think.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I
Be take a bath, wash your ass.
gosh, yes. I don't
It is
think
hot. It's
that's
90-something degrees.
Funk is real.
Mm-hmm.
Funk is real, and don't nobody want to smell that. Don't
Mm-mm.
nobody want to be at the cookout. Don't nobody want to be
No.
at the barbecue.
All
Don't nobody
tangy
be
and
at no
spicy.
Don't nobody be at no family gathering and smelling extra onions in their food, and it just happened to be you. Um, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't nobody want that.
Yeah, because I was one of somebody else. Because every time I turned around, somebody else was adding to. Yeah, I don't wash past my knees. I only wash once I smell myself. It's like you're nasty. Nasty. He said,
Yeah,
that's right. And plus the 19.
Right. So, but then that also balls into everything else. So if you're not washing your ass, that means you're not washing your hands. Therefore, you are a walking germ.
You're walking germs.
You are walking Rona, giving it to whomever. So yeah.
And then you playing in that stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody else, and they just as nasty as you are. That husband and wife. Those
is that some people who claim that they don't wash like that, like Erica Badu on our side.
She washed because I'm told that somebody told her ass was spicy.
But I'm sure she did. But I hope she did when she went to Obama's 60th birthday.
Oh, she did. She did. She soaked that shit in buttermilk and Miracle Whip. I don't know. She wasn't gonna roll up in there like that.
Right. Let's hope not.
Yeah,
but please.
But
wash.
our washing is different from their washing.
Yeah. That part is true. Black parents don't play that.
Play that stuff. No.
Mm-hmm. You better start washing for somebody to get a cap of bleach on your ass and make.
Oh yeah. They use bleach for everything. I'm surprised we haven't been poisoned today.
Walking around looking like Michael Jackson.
For real. With a nose. Yeah. Oof. Nasty. But it was like every week another one was popping up out of nowhere. And it's like, why are you telling us that? But I'm glad you're telling us that because we've always known that you stink.
You look a little smelly.
You stink. And then you're going to put cologne or perfume on top of that?
Oh, you know what I meant to ask you? Lastly, before we go, I saw that you posted the Respect.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like it? Did you watch it? Because
you just saw it? I liked it. I still like the other one better.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
I like the other one better because it went more in depth. More in depth. But the costumes and just her representation of Aretha Franklin was better. I don't like Jennifer Hudson's voice. I think it's her tone. It grates. To me, it grates. But she, as the acting portion of it, she had her mannerisms down. She had the lisp down. But I enjoyed it. Yeah. Which is kind of strange. I always hate when I get into an artist, and they're still here, and it's like all of a sudden I'm consumed with all of their music and everything that they've done, and it's like, oh no, then I think they're getting ready to leave. You know, that type of thing, and I hate when I do that because it's like I ain't ready for you to go yet.
Right. You still got more to do.
You still got more to do, but I think they do themselves a disservice when they get to a point in their careers where they just start doing their old material, instead of continuing doing other things, even if they're doing covers of songs that they didn't get a chance to do or that was offered to them. I always found that interesting. A lot of songs that went to other artists first, and they passed on it, and then becomes a hit for somebody else.
Right.
You know. But Mary J. Blige, she's getting better.
She is getting better, but still, I was like,
it's just it's just two dimensional. Yeah. Her acting is always just two dimensional to me.
It's like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like take a step. Yeah. Take a step. 1, 2. Take a step. Like, 3, 4. Take a step.
it doesn't flow like you've embodied the person. It flows like
Yeah.
I read the lines, I got it,
And I'm delivering the
and
lines.
I'm delivering the lines. It's
Because
not,
it's just as dry.
yeah, yeah. But even the flipping the table part, it's just like,
Yeah, that was just that was
yeah,
I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but damn, it was dry as hell.
yeah, but it was very just like that came out of nowhere. You know, it was
Mm.
kind of like
No,
dish.
but now Dinah Washington did have a reputation of being a bitch
Okay,
when it came to her music, because they all would sing the
so
standards.
yeah, the same.
So the whole thing for a vocal artist is to make the song their own,
Mm-hmm.
and to have someone sing what you would consider your material in your song,
Right.
was a slap in the
It's
face.
like in the
And
face.
it was really odd when I got into Aretha Franklin and her early stuff that she was singing jazz standards. Like, why was
Yeah.
she singing that kind of stuff? Because you only heard about her later soulful
Right.
stuff, but in the very beginning, they all sang the same songs. But
Right.
it was the artist's job to make it their own.
But that was my point. Like, if we're all singing the same songs anyway, and at the time when you met this young girl, she was a baby.
Hmm.
You know, and she used to come down and sing for y'all. So it's like
Yeah,
for you to
but she
be
was
that upset,
competition. She was competition, and she knew if that little girl was doing that shit at
then
that age, she knew that she was a force to be reckoned with.
yeah,
Now,
I,
and you know that, well, if she would have, if Dinah Washington would have lived longer,
mm,
you get displaced.
yeah,
You know, and back then, they if she would probably would still have a decent career if she went over to Europe.
okay, yeah,
Because over there, the
yeah,
way we consume music is
different.
vastly different from over there. They'll keep you forever. You're a treasure forever over there. You can sing and do whatever.
Yeah,
But here,
you will
you
pay
got
for a
you got your
concert.
15 minutes,
Yeah,
and it's done.
they will still pay for a full stadium for you to sing nothing
Yes,
but the whole
a
song.
stadium now,
Yeah,
a stadium where you might you might get a lounge over here. But a lot of them, and I think it's too because a lot of they consume a lot of American music,
yeah.
but a lot of they don't get the acts to actually come over.
Mm.
So um,
And that's how they learn a lot of English anyway, through
yeah,
listening to the music and all that type of stuff.
hmm yeah. But yeah, Dinah Washington definitely used to have that reputation of being a bitch.
Yeah, that was it was
Because she told Patti LaBelle stop singing, bitch. Told her stop singing my shit. Stop singing my fucking song, my shit. Stop singing my song. I can't
wow.
remember what song it was, but she actually told her stop singing my shit.
Hmm, interesting. But yeah, it was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I did like the other one better because it went more in depth.
Depth, yeah, because
Um,
it glazed
yeah,
over the
yeah,
children.
it glazed over a lot. It glazed over
Uh,
the children. The well, the first one, not the first one, but the one that they did the Genius series on Aretha Franklin. Uh,
mm,
they didn't really go into how she became pregnant at an early age,
mm.
but this one did. So it was some difference in contrast to all that. When she face planted off that stage when she was that drunk, I said, God.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember when Phyllis Hyman came to Painter's Mill down here in Maryland,
Mm,
and she was so high, and
mm,
she was sitting on it, she was sitting on the stool, and
mm.
then that's when they had the theater in the round. The stage revolved,
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
and and um and I'm trying to think if it was like, I mean, she was fucked up.
Oh.
She was really
And it
fucked up.
ain't helped that the stage was moving,
No.
spinning around and shit.
Yeah, yeah. The whole band and everything.
Trying to hold it
But
together with the thumb.
but luckily she wasn't staggering, but you can tell she was gone. Whatever she was
Mm,
on, she was gone.
she was in it. Yeah.
She was-
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let me
yeah.
see. I have to. Yeah, it's worth. It's definitely worth
Yeah,
seeing.
the Genius series with the story of Aretha Franklin, with
Because that's on Hulu, right?
the woman who played the woman who played Harriet,
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo. Yeah, that's the name.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. She did an Aretha series for Geniuses, which is National Geographic's kind of.
Yeah, it was National Geographic's. Yeah, because I thought it was straight. It's like, why is National Geographic's doing this? They ran out of animals.
So they did that series, and then of course Respect came out. But Respect, the movie was supposed to come out before, but COVID.
Before that, yeah, they kept pushing it back.
COVID kept pushing it back,
and I think that if that would have came out first,
right,
I think it would have done a lot better. But it's definitely worth seeing. And now it's on Amazon.
I think so.
Yeah,
well, I think you can get it from any what you call it. You just got to pay the extra.
Well, you know I don't. But anyway,
no comment. But yeah, it's definitely a good watch. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely worth it. Wow. Compared to all the stuff that's not out here now, they've pushed back so many other things.
Yeah, I've heard no nonsense. I've heard Summer for Family was pissed about the series, but others weren't because they did get the green light from some family members to do the series and put some of the music in the series, but not all of the family was on board with it.
Yeah, because the reputation of her father being a pedophile, and
a drunk,
and a drunk, yeah. I was surprised in Respect that they focused a little bit more with Clara Ward.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten to her stuff. She is something else. Have you seen her? She has some clips. Holy, Hulu.
No.
Clara Ward gospel group. They're like the holy rollers. They jump up and down. Oh my goodness. Make you get the spirit. Clara Ward singers. You have to look at some of her clips.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
It's like a group of 5 women, and she's the lead, but they switch up and things like that. But it's like 1950s, when it was definitely white bread.
Okay.
I mean, real white people sitting there. They were clapping all off rhythm and everything. It is hilarious. You got to see that shit. Even after all this time, they still don't have rhythm. You have to listen to the bass, baby. The bass.
Catch the beat. You gotta catch.
Hey, TC, long time no see.
Hey, what's going on, TC? You must be past working hours. You must be free. Give us free. All right.
Oh, that's right. That and Lynn T was driving, so she couldn't compliment out. And we didn't see Lynn T last week. We missed her too.
No, we missed her. No.
Yeah, but it's Clara Ward singer. You have to, especially a lot of the old gospel singers, and you can see the influence.
Yeah.
And these children, they could sing. You know, make you get that Holy Ghost.
I will check it out. But yeah, it was quite interesting to kind of do the parallel between the series and this actual movie.
Yeah, you right tonight. The bass ain't in them because they all offbeat. And don't watch them. They'll throw you off.
Don't do it.
Because you've been and did the mashed potato and shit. You'll be like, oh, I'm all fucked up now. And I got to start all over again. Okay, all right, I'm good.
I don't do it.
Ain't that scary?
I can't. Anyway, on that note,
you said black people clap to the music, white people clap to the words. You're right.
You know what? I'm not doing it with y'all. Not doing it with y'all today. But on that note, it's been great as always hanging out with you guys. Until next time, please remember to wear your mask, wash your ass, moisturize.
That almost rhymed.
Yes. Moisturize and be safe. There are some crazy mayonnaise out there, so please try not to get into too much of confrontation with someone.
With them. Yeah, you don't want them breathing on you, and they don't wash their ass. You don't wash your ass, you don't wash your hands.
Right.
Right. And you surely don't want them up in your face.
No.
Oh, and sir,
yes.
you have a anniversary coming up?
I do. I mean, I do.
He has an anniversary coming up. I don't know why this boy won't pimp himself.
Oh my gosh!
I tell him that shit. I'll pimp yourself. God damn it, pimp yourself.
It's not that serious.
No, with 2 years.
It would be 2 years.
2 years for your first video.
Yes.
I applaud you, sir.
Thank you.
I thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Even though you won't pimp yourself.
It's not here yet, but
that's not the point. It's coming up. You start pimping early. Yeah.
It is coming.
God damn. I have to teach you how to pimp yourself. Because you don't want nobody else pimping you taking a cut.
Well, first of all, nobody else pimps me. Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what Aura said.
That's what you couldn't read a contract. Read our contract. Don't nobody pimp me. Thank you. But yeah, it is coming up, and I will have a little run out when it's time. But, yeah, it's 2 years, and it's I appreciate you guys, and it's been great, and the knowledge that we shared.
Okay. Look at that, man. Pimp yourself.
It's coming.
You just sit back and let it slide on by. I don't know what made me look. I don't know
either.
Well, that's what I get paid for. See, you shouldn't have asked me, and that's what I get paid for. I notice I try to notice all these little things. If I wasn't doing my goddamn job, my ass be fired. Thank you. That's right.
Well,
thank you very much, sir. Your services are greatly appreciated.
Thank you. I try. But on that note, I will have a little run out thing of something we can all celebrate together. So be on the lookout for it. And thank you so much, Brother Nate, for putting that out there.
Because you weren't going to say anything.
I wasn't.
Was not going to say anything. Not a word.
No, I was not. But on that note, everybody have a great night.
And then have a safe one.
Safe night. Yeah. One with bubbles and bathing. All right. Peace.
Good night.